This story is called Scruffy Bear and the 6 White Mice. A small scruffy bear was out walking one evening when he came to a wood. What a dark and gloomy place, he thought, and had just decided that he'd walk around the wood instead of through it, when he heard a noise, a squeaking noise, like the sound of frightened little animals. It was coming from the gloomy wood. Scruffy Bear set off at once to find out what the matter was, and right in the middle of the wood, caught by the last gleam of the setting sun, he found 6 white mice. "Help!" squeaked the mice. "We're lost, and now the night is coming. We'll be gobbled up by owls, or foxes, or snakes, for certain." And just at that moment they heard the hoot of an owl coming from the treetops up above. "Quick!" whispered Scruffy Bear. "Curl up tight, mice, and tuck in your tails." And so the mice curled up tight and carefully tucked away their little pink tails. A moment later, silent as a ghost, an owl flew down from the treetops above and found Scruffy Bear standing beside 6 fluffy white balls. "Hello, Bear," said the owl. "You haven't seen any mice, have you? I'm sure I heard mice just a moment ago, and it's about time for my supper." "Mice? Oh no, Owl," said Scruffy Bear, shaking his head. The owl looked down at the 6 white balls and asked, "But what are those?" "Those? Why, those are snowballs," replied Scruffy Bear. "Snowballs?" "Yes, snowballs. I'm collecting them to save for the winter. It's good to be prepared, don't you think?" "Ah," replied the owl. "Very wise, very wise." And he flew off in search of supper. "Hurry along, mice, hurry along," said Scruffy Bear when the owl had gone, and all the mice jumped up and ran along beside him. But they'd not gone far before they heard the bark of a fox coming from just up ahead. "Help!" squeaked the frightened mice. "A fox!" "Quick, curl up again, curl up," said Scruffy Bear, "and do remember to tuck in your tails." They did. So when the fox stepped out of the shadows, he found Scruffy Bear standing beside 6 furry, fluffy white balls. "Hello, Bear," said the fox. "You've not seen any mice, have you? There are mice about here somewhere. I can smell them." He began to lick his lips. "Mice? Oh no," said Scruffy Bear. "Only eggs." "Eggs? But they're furry." "They're furry pheasant eggs. I'm collecting them for the furry pheasant. She lost them, the silly bird." "Ah," said the fox, looking down at the curious furry eggs. "But I'm sure I could smell mice somewhere." And he stalked off in search of supper. "Hurry along, mice, hurry along," said Scruffy Bear when the fox had gone, and all the mice jumped up and hurried along. But they'd not gone far before they heard the hiss of a snake coming from the thicket just up ahead. "A snake!" squealed the mice. "Quick, curl up," whispered Scruffy Bear, "and remember those tails." The mice curled up once more, and a moment later a snake came slithering out of the thicket. "Hello, Bear," she hissed. "I'm looking for mice. Are there any mice around here?" The snake was staring down at the furry white balls. Mice? Oh no, replied Scruffy Bear, only apples. Apples? Yes, apples. I've been picking up windfalls, white moon apples, that have fallen down from the white apple trees on the moon. It's been very windy up there, you know. Moon apples? Hissed the snake, looking even more closely at the furry white balls. But whoever heard of apples with little pink tails like that one? One of the mice had forgotten to tuck in his tail. Oh dear! Exclaimed Scruffy Bear, quickly picking up the moon apple. But that's not a tail. No, that's a naughty little worm eating my apple. A worm? Yuck! Said the snake in disgust, and she slithered off in search of supper. It was not until later that the snake thought, moon apples? That's ridiculous. And the fox thought, furry eggs? That's absurd. And the owl thought, snowballs? In the middle of summer? And they all thought, mice. But by then, it was too late, for Scruffy Bear and the 6 white mice were long gone.